Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's live. I'm so excited to have you all here joining for this incredible conversation with one of our Women Thrive Summit speakers, Kay McCready. Hello, Kay. How are you? Where are you joining us from?
Hi. Yes, I'm really well, thank you. And I'm joining you from Newcastle in the UK, northeast of England, where it's really wet, cold. But I'm wearing
Well,
the yellow to bring the sunshine.
yeah, I was just about to say, well, we are going to be bringing some sunshine to today's live and to bring even more beautiful energy in and make sure that this live is being seen by more people around the world. Make sure you leave a comment below. Let us know where you're joining from, where in the world you are. And if you're watching this on live, put replay in the comments below. We'd love to come back and engage with you in the conversation in the chat thereafter. Now, today we're talking about empowering your inner warrior, building emotional resilience after trauma. And my guest today, as I mentioned, is one of our Women Thrive Summit speakers, Kay McCready. So, Kay McCready is emotional resilience expert, trauma practitioner, 9D breathwork facilitator, and the founder of Kay McCready Coaching and co-founder of Beat Global Academy Limited. And today's conversation, I think, is going to support you in building that inner warrior and building more resilience around trauma. Okay, I'm excited for our audience to meet you. Would you also just give a little introduction of yourself and how you, what you do, who you support?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I had a wonderful introduction there of you, Raimonda. So that was amazing to hear that. So I was a police officer for 28 years. And as part of that career, it was really rewarding. I had a really amazing career. I met some amazing people. I got to spend so much time with people who were facing the most difficult times in their lives, and I was able to step in and help them in their moments of need. So that was been really, really rewarding for me. And the career in the police force is really exciting. We get to do some amazing things, but also we get to deal with some challenging things as well. And throughout that time of my 28 years, I've actually been through lots of challenges. I've experienced lots of trauma, that's the people's trauma, and also my own personal trauma within that time as well. And as part of that, I realized that actually emotional resilience is something completely different to what I thought it was, because
Mm.
I always thought that being resilient was, somebody who was really tough. When I was young, I was a little roughy tufty, and I was just strong. I was physically strong and tough, just mentally tough. But as part of that mental toughness, it meant that I faced challenges, and I just thought that I could squash them down and I could push them to one side, and I would face the next challenge and the next challenge and just give them to me and I'd be okay. I'd manage them all. And majority of the time I did do that. But then when I faced more and more of my own personal challenges, I realized that actually emotional resilience isn't about just continuing to be tough all of the time, because sometimes we don't feel tough. Sometimes we feel like
Mm.
crying. Sometimes we feel like we can't manage. Sometimes we're really, really struggling. But, as a police officer, to actually acknowledge that and to accept that and to admit that and to speak it out loud is really, really difficult. And because, as part of that culture of being a police officer, first of all, you're in a male dominated environment,
Yeah.
and part of that culture is to be tough. Whether we're tough inside or not, that is the culture within the organization, that you appear to be tough and you stand up there, whether you're scared, you're terrified or not. It doesn't matter if you're fighting a 6'7" man. It doesn't matter. You have to stand up there and face it and be tough. So but obviously with that, you sort of disconnect from your emotions quite a lot. Really, I think that's what I learned to do. I learned to be tough, but I learned to actually disconnect from what I was feeling, to compartmentalize, to just put things in boxes and then carry on to the next, to the next thing. But what I've learned over time is that you can't do that, because it's just not sustainable. You can't do that forever. It will take its toll on you. And I know so many people, so many police officers as well, who are actually struggling with their mental health, who face lots of challenges, but feel exactly the same as I did, that it's a weakness to ask for help.
Mm, mm.
You
And
know?
I love that you talk about, building that resilience and inner strength. And I know you tap into different modalities. So you've came away from working in the force now, and you have your own practice, and you're doing some really deep and inner work. What does your work look like today, and who do you work with, and how do you support other people to work through those past trauma and also getting over it?
Yeah, it's things have changed quite a lot in the last few years. So I have actually retired from the police force 2 years ago, and I now have my own coaching business. I have holistic health business. I'm an 9D breathwork facilitator. I do lots of different modalities. I work now with women who've experienced trauma or significant life challenges,
Mhm.
and are looking to rebuild their emotional strength. And the reason I do that is because I was in that position where, I did face trauma. The worst trauma that I faced was the death of my 4-year-old son.
Wow.
And in those moments, I didn't have any coping strategies at all. I didn't have anything. I thought I had to be tough. I thought I could carry on the same as I always had done. And believe it or not, a week after my son died, I actually went back to work because I didn't know what else to do, saving everybody else, looking after everybody else, because avoiding was the only way I knew how to avoid what I was feeling. So now I work with women who have probably been through some trauma, some struggles, some big challenges in life, and they don't have any coping strategies. They don't know how to move forward. And in the last, particularly the last 5 years, I've done so much work on myself that I am able to stand here now. I am able to help other people, to help other people build their emotional strength, to give them the techniques, to show them the strategies, to allow them to believe in themselves that it is possible, because I'm here to show the way, to lead the way, to show that if I can experience some of the most horrific traumas anybody could ever imagine and come out the other side. I never imagined I would be able to come out the other side, but here I am. Not only have I come out the other side, I'm thriving. I have an amazing life, have an amazing business. My energy all of the time is amazing because it's how I harness that energy. I've learned how to harness my emotions, to process what I'm feeling, to accept what I'm feeling, to acknowledge what I'm feeling, and to show the people how to do that too. And like I say, I do that through lots of different ways now. I do that through my one-to-one coaching. I also have some online coaching programs, and also through 9D breathwork as well, which is incredible. But again, they're all just different modalities that I bring into the work that I do. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's really powerful.
I want to ask you, what happens when we suppress our emotions and trauma? And you mentioned something there, that you don't know how to cope with the emotional aspect of you losing your son, and you went back to work a week after, which is incredible. And I can't imagine what you were dealing with. How does that manifest in our lives? What happens when we don't deal with our traumas?
Yeah, when we don't deal with our traumas, it stays within our body. It's energy, it's the trapped energy. It manifests as illnesses, it manifests in depression, it manifests in anxiety, it manifests in eating disorders, it manifests in lots of different ways, because we're just squashing everything down. We're avoiding, we're not allowing our body to actually process that. It affects our nervous system. And what happens is, when we're constantly in that state where our nervous system's overwhelmed because it doesn't know how to process what's going on, it becomes overwhelmed. And then we get stuck in that cycle. And our nervous system, the rest and digest, is unable to kick back in to bring us back down. So we stick in that trauma cycle all of the time. Yeah.
Hmm. How can we build that emotional resilience? What are the tools to do that?
There are so many tools, so many tools. And for me, it's always the same. It's always been about how I feel on the inside. And we have to check in with how we feel. We keep busy like I did at work. We keep busy all of the time. We're never checking in. We're just constantly doing things for other people. It's really important to get still, to actually ask yourself what is going on inside your body. How's your body responding? Do you feel alive? Do you feel excited? Or are you feeling sad, and are you feeling upset or frustrated or angry? Because society has led us to believe along the path that we shouldn't express how we feel, especially when it comes to those what are classed as negative emotions, because things like anger, things like frustration, we're not supposed to be angry, we're not supposed to shout, we're not supposed to express ourselves. But all of these things are because we're feeling something and we want to express that. And more often than not, we would express it in a way that might not be beneficial. We project it on other people. We get angry with other people. We call other people names. We talk badly to other people. We're just projecting that onto other people all of the time. Where if we were able to actually check in with ourselves and ask ourselves what we are feeling, ask ourselves some really important questions, and acknowledge what's going on in your body, because our emotions are things that we feel physically in our body. But then we attach thoughts to those emotions, and they're the
Mm,
things that get us stuck. When we can disconnect the thoughts from what's happening in our body, we can actually tune into our body. We can allow those feelings to be there. We can allow the physical symptoms
mm,
to be there. And we can sit with them and allow them to be there. And they don't break us like we think that they're going to. It's all of the stuff in our head that makes us think those things. But when we
wow.
sit still and we actually tune in with ourselves
Yeah.
and listen to our breath, listen to our body, connect with our body. I was so disconnected most of my life. Most of my life, I was unable to feel. I just didn't know how to connect, because I didn't
Mm,
want to feel what I thought was horrific pain, and I wouldn't be able to cope. When now I go out of my way every day to connect with my body in lots of different ways, to connect with what's going on inside, to connect with, how I'm feeling and why I'm feeling that. And if there's a feeling that I want to feel, like if I want to feel amazing or excited or satisfied or gratitude, whatever, I can go out and create that, because I know how to harness those positive emotions.
yeah.
And when I first started harnessing the positive emotions, that's when I was able to start dealing with the emotions that I didn't want to face.
Yeah. Okay, I think it's really groundbreaking when we connect with ourselves, because it changes our relationships with ourselves and others, and how we show up. And when we become aware of our feelings, I think then we can stop projecting on other people. I know that anger and resentment um, really creates a lot of self sabotage. A lot of the times we sabotage our relationships, and we're not able to build those deeper, more meaningful connections with our loved ones, family. It's like avoidance, right? And it can manifest in so many different ways that just prevents us. And I feel like some people might be really stuck. What would you say to someone was actually just even afraid to face themselves or face those parts? Because let's talk about it. It's not an easy thing to say, to accept it and reach out for help.
Yeah, that's so true. So true. And for a long time, I didn't reach out for help. So I understand if other people are feeling that, because I've been in that position. And I lived in a place of anger. I lived in a place of frustration. I lived in a place of resentment for a long time,
Mm.
because I didn't know how to process it. And because all of this emotion was stirring up inside me, the easiest thing to do is hurt somebody else, because hurt people,
Yeah.
So if you're feeling that, and you've got some things on in your life where you struggling to process what's going on, or you're avoiding, what I would say is that you can't avoid forever, because I thought I could avoid forever and I avoided for a long time. But eventually, I was the only person who suffered. I was the only person who struggled. I was I was taking sleeping tablets. I was drinking alcohol. I was doing lots of things to sabotage myself because I didn't want to feel. And that just is, like a compound effect. You add more and more things into the mix, and you become more unwell.
Yep.
Where, if you were able to, first of all, acknowledge and accept that you do have some things in there that are really, really deep and are struggling, and you don't
Mm,
want to feel, and just acknowledge that to start off with, and acknowledge that it's okay. It's okay to
mm,
reach out for help. It's okay to find somebody who you trust, because I think trust's a really big thing for people. And a lot of the clients I work with, they have trust issues because that trust has been breached in the past, and there might be consequences if they say certain things. So it is difficult for them. But if you can find somebody that you trust, somebody who will honor that space for you and allow you to be able to express what it is that you're feeling. You don't have to express it to lots of people. Just, even if you just had one person who you could speak to, who would just listen and acknowledge and accept, and allow you to accept and acknowledge what is going on for you. You don't have to do anything with it in that moment. It's in the acknowledging and the accepting
yep.
of what is. It's only when you accept can you then start to do something about that.
Yeah. It does take a lot of strength to be vulnerable, because I think that's what especially if you've been through trauma and you're going through pain, being vulnerable and accepting some of these things and reaching out for help, it takes incredible amount of strength to do that. And I believe the first step to transformation, to change your life right now, to step away from trauma, pain, and underlying issues that might be rising up for you because you are suppressing a lot of these emotional things. Maybe you're not sleeping, maybe you're leaning into food, or having your head stuck in social media 24/7, and you're avoiding the relationships that you could be building, um and truly you're not living life. So it takes a lot of courage to step out and reach out for help. How can you support people that might be stuck in this position right now and want to take the first step forward?
Yeah, anybody can reach out to me at any point. I'm not on social media 24 hours a day, but if somebody wanted to reach out to me, they can contact me on social media. I'm on all the different platforms, and just know that I can offer you a safe space. Even
Mm,
if you just want to reach out, doesn't mean we have to work together. I can speak to you, I can guide you, I can give you some advice around, depending on what's going on in your situation. But it's really, really important to just take that initial step, because you won't regret it. You will absolutely not regret taking that first step. I took the
mm,
step. It is hard. You do feel vulnerable. You do doubt yourself. You do wonder whether people are going to, talk about you behind your back once you've made that initial contact with somebody. You've got all these things going on in your head, and that's okay. It's okay to have those worries. It's okay to have those concerns. It's okay to have the uncertainty, because we quite often, we don't like uncertainty. We want to know that things are going to work out
mm.
exactly as we want them to. But it's in the uncertainty that you can actually find some space to grow, to learn, to do different things to what you've done before, and to get some different results to what you've had before. So please, on those uncertain times, just reach out. It will be worth it.
Yeah. Take that first step if you are struggling, if you need a help. And that's what I love about our community, that we bring forth the voices of women who have gone through their own personal challenges and overcome them, And sometimes we may feel alone. We may feel really stuck in a position where we are. And like, I know when I was going through my own challenges in my life, I felt so alone. I just didn't know if there was anybody who can help me. I didn't really reach out to the medical professions because I didn't think it was medical, so to speak, to have the mental things that was going on with me, like going into depression and the way it was manifesting in my life. And I think the fact that we're able to bring forward the voices of women and vulnerably share about these experiences. I mean, what you shared today, it's not something you go around social media sharing on a day-to-day basis. And I think the fact that you are here on this global platform so bravely speaking about your own personal experiences, your loss, that's so personal and endearing to watch you speak about it in the name of service of other people, so other people don't have to struggle all alone. And that just brings me tears to talk about that.
Yeah, it took me a long time to actually speak about it. It's only really been the last 2 years that I've actually taken the step to speak. Before that, because I was a police officer, I didn't want people knowing anything about me because, within the organisation, you have to be very careful about what you say to people. So
Yeah.
for me, I never told anybody about me, never told anybody what I did, what I'd been through, what I'd experienced. So for
Wow.
me, this last 2 years has been transformative in itself, in the fact that I'm now, in a position where I'm able to speak about my son. I'm able to speak about the fact that he died and, how painful that was for me, my struggles and my challenges, because I've healed, because I've done the work. It's been
Oh,
really hard and it's been really tough. And sometimes I haven't wanted to go there, but I know that that's the only way forward. The only way forward is through. There's no
yep.
other way around it. I've tried all the other ways around it. I spent 10 years trying all those different angles, and that, there isn't another way. There isn't another way to do it. You have to go through the pain. And once you
Yep.
learn how to deal with those emotions and feel those emotions, you can harness the good ones, you can work through the ones that are not so good, and you can thrive and you can choose to have a really amazing life.
I agree. I agree. Facing ourselves, facing the pain sometimes to come out on the other side. Unfortunately, there is perhaps no easy way through, just through, face it. And reach out for help because you don't have to struggle alone. Our amazing experts are here. They've gone through the same experiences you might be faced with right now, and they can give you tools. And that's what I think. Finding the tools that work for you. And I know, Kay, you have a number of tools such as breathwork and many other resilience strategies and practices that you have that can help people really deep deep healing and really on a cellular level to change their whole being, which what I'm really excited about now. Okay, you're also a speaker at a Women Thrive Summit, which I'm really excited. This is our annual women empowerment event that happens every March, and it spotlights um, just diverse voices of women who have been through different challenges and able to now facilitate the growth and expansion for other people. I know this is your talk, empowering your inner warrior, building emotional resilience after trauma. What people can expect during the summit at your talk?
People can expect that they are going to have an awesome session with me where they're going to get to hear my story, but they're also going to get to experience how I was able to come through the other side. They're also going to be given some techniques. So there will be, I'll be going through the sun technique with them. So they will get some actual techniques and strategies to take away, which will give them something to be able to start to process their emotions and their feelings. So hopefully that will be able to take them forward in all areas of life, whether that be personal life, business life. It doesn't matter. Once we start to tune in and we can connect with our feelings, we can just live an amazing life, and it can impact us in so many different ways. So come along to my talk. You will not regret it. It's going to be amazing.
Yeah, yes, yes, yes. I appreciate your voice on our platform, what you bring to this community and beyond, the work that you're doing. I think it's really important. It's not so widely covered. I know there are not enough people talking about this particular topic and the support that is available out there. So, if you feeling called to, if you need a help and support, how can people connect with you and yeah, just make that first step towards their own healing journey?
Yeah, people can connect with me on all social media platforms. I'm on Facebook as Kay McCready Coaching. I'm on Instagram and also on LinkedIn as well. So please just reach out to me on any of those platforms.
Yeah, amazing. And I will post a link to your Facebook profile just in case somebody wanted to just make that first connection right now. I think let's start somewhere. Let's take that first step towards your journey of healing and building your emotional resilience, perhaps after trauma, loss, depression, or whatever other obstacle you're currently facing with. Okay, I'm looking forward to seeing you at the summit and all the beautiful energy that you bring to this planet. And I love that you always show up in your yellow and beautiful smile and positive energy. And I know things that were spoken on today are not easy topics to talk about. And I hope, despite sometimes these difficult conversations, we can find something positive and enlightening. So do make sure you share this live with other people. I think the more awareness that we can bring to the world around not having to do it on your own. And I think there's so many people are currently in this painful situation that they just need to find answers to. So do make sure you share this right now. And of course, our annual Women Thrive Summit is happening March between the 18th to the 22nd of March. This is a live virtual event where you get to attend Kay's talk, as we mentioned. You also get to connect with other 50 amazing speakers from all around the world and covering different topics from personal growth, dealing with trauma, personal development, business, finances, marketing, visibility. And this is all with intention to help you grow in personal endeavors as well as business. So I think what I'm most excited about is the connections and growth that people will experience as a result of this event, because I've experienced firsthand and I witnessed firsthand just the transformation that happens when people lean into events like this and they're there to experience it themselves. Okay. Yeah. Any last words before we leave today?
It's going to be exciting. If you haven't got your tickets already, then get them, because there's going to be so many gold nuggets in the whole summit, so much value in it. So yes, it's going to be incredible. I'm really proud to be part of this. So thank you, Ramonda, for the opportunity.
Oh, thank you. It's you ladies that come together to bring your magic to this world and to our audience. That I'm excited to spotlight, and that's what makes this platform so special, because you ladies bring your amazing expertise and people get to enjoy and experience it. So don't wait. Make sure you head over to womenthrivesummit.com, register, invite some of your friends to be there. And if you feel called to and inspired to after today's conversation and you want to take that first step towards your healing journey, connect with Kay McCready. You're not going to be disappointed. I promise you, she's a magical human being. And I've had absolute honor and pleasure of building my relationship with Kay over the last few months. And I know her heart is here to support you. So, Kay, thank you for everything you do in this world.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
I appreciate it. To all of you, thank you so much for watching. And we will be back tomorrow for more amazing interviews with our Women Thrive Summit speakers. Make sure you share it, tune in, watch the replay, and connect with us at the Summit platform. We look forward to seeing you again very soon. Take care for now. Bye bye.